Welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at Castlevania Season 3.
Yes, sir.
We just wrapped it up, and we're going to give it a review. We're going to go over the story, favorite characters, animation, how it was done, music and sound. And then at the end, we're going to give it our layman's review and see if it can hold up to the rest that we have on our list.
For Season 3, one word. The one-word game.
Long, or boring until episode 8.
Until it wasn't.
Till it wasn't. I really hope you can convince me otherwise, because I like this series. I'm excited to watch Season 4. Season 1, I don't even count that. Season 2, ready. Season 3, well.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I really hope you can convince me otherwise. Story, I couldn't tell you. I feel it was a show that was, or a season that was just trying to juggle too many balls at once. You had 4 or 5 stories, depending how you look at it. And they did them all in one episode, each episode. And you couldn't get a big enough bite to feel good about it.
Okay.
So, it covered Isaac, my man, loved him. And then by the end of the season, I really could do without him in Season 4.
Wow.
Hector and a beautiful vampire. Out of all we've seen, she was my favorite. And he got to do, fun things with her and really experience different things.
Yeah.
And
fun thing. That's what we're gonna put.
Where are we at? Carmilla and her band of vicious women vampires, which I'm cool with that. Then I guess the whole show is Trevor and Sypha. Forgot about them. Wasn't super involved with them either. They showed up to a town full of, I'm just gonna say monks, because one of them reminded me of.
They were monks. Yeah, they were monks.
And a guy, Saint Germain.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which another one I could do without. What purpose did he serve? He opened up the demon gateway and then went in. And then I'm sure we see him again, because I'm getting the feeling we're bringing Dracula back from hell. That's what I'm feeling is coming down the line. That's it? Yeah, because you had, 5. You had Trevor, Sypha, Carmilla and her gang.
You didn't talk about Alucard at all.
Oh my God, forgot about that guy and his twins that he brought over.
Yeah, that ended interesting.
Very interesting. I think, honestly, out of all the stories, that one ended totally different than what I expected. But I think, honestly, between the warnings in the top left, we finally got to see why they warn us.
I completely understand that in a lot of ways, to me, it felt like Season 3 was like a prelude to Season 4, and it's like, no shit, Season 3 comes before 4. But in a lot of ways, it was kind of like the Game of Thrones theory, where like you build up a bunch of things, and then there's a season where they all come and happen.
Really? Did that happen for Game of Thrones?
Eventually. It was 2 episodes.
How'd you like that ending?
It was terrible, but you haven't seen Season 4 yet. So it could pay off.
I don't.
And I think that Season 3 set up for the events in Season 4. If you did the events of Season 4 without setting up with Season 3, I think that it wouldn't hit as strong.
I mean, you're really just convincing me that 3 comes before 4.
No, okay.
That's what you're telling me.
No, that's what I'm starting. That's what I'm starting.
Okay.
Castlevania Season 2 ends with the death of Dracula. Somebody that, to someone coming into it without playing the games, would think that he's a pivotal part of the series.
This guy right here, and Dracula, that hurt me.
They have to introduce you to the world outside of Dracula and world build around Carmilla and her sisters, around Isaac, around Hector, and they have to build around Alucard. And they have to tell compelling stories enough to make you convinced to watch after Dracula. Yes, Dracula was what they were trying to resurrect at the end, because
seemed it.
Actually, he is a pivotal part of the series. It's just he doesn't have to be in the season to still be connected to the season.
Monks followed him.
I
that was
thought
like a
Season
religion
2
over him.
was like a crime drama. And I really liked the change of pace, because it felt like the episodes were a lot slower and it was a lot more build up. I'll give you that. And for a lot of folks,
do you think
said
it crossed
was
too
boring,
much?
I would say that I wouldn't fault you for feeling bored.
Okay, perfect. Because I was going to say I was struggling to stay awake for some of them.
I love the fact that Trevor and Sypha were like mystery solvers to a point where they did.
Yeah, they were seeming like a little like Scooby-Doo gang.
Yeah,
all they do is go around and catch goblins and ghouls.
Well, not every season's going to be them killing some epic vampire that's going to like come from, they have to like tell stories not outside of Dracula, really.
Maybe
outside of Dracula.
Maybe I'm ignoring character development here. I guess this is what you need because, like you
Yes.
said, the characters, Dracula being the main focus in 1 and 2, and then you're going to, hey, we had all these other characters that exist in this this realm, and okay. So maybe I'm thinking I need to go beyond season.
So what
3.
you're saying is you wanted a start, a middle, and an ending for the season.
Season 2 did it. And season 2 did that for me.
But season 1 didn't.
So if season 1 was 30 seconds worse than it actually was to me, like if it transitioned into episode 3 and maintained that what am I watching,
Right.
we wouldn't be here today.
Okay.
But it did. It caught me enough. Since season 2 got me good. Like honestly, out of all the stories that we covered, I don't know, the plethora of let's say 10. I don't know, whatever. Grabbing a hat, pick one. Which one did you enjoy? Like honestly, like which story
Trevor
did you
and
enjoy?
Sypha.
Pick one. I don't need more.
Well, they were together.
Right, okay. So Trevor and Sypha, that was your favorite out of all of them.
That was my favorite probably.
Okay.
I really liked Hector's story.
Hector. Okay.
I was really like wondering if Lenore
or something.
Lenore.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they were going to end up together, and I thought for a moment at the end there she was serious about running away, and just being together, the two of them being together. But I was genuinely interested in that plot.
Okay, because you thought maybe she was becoming different than her sisters.
No, I just
She
the
just
two
wanted
of them, the
something
relationship
better.
between the two of them.
And she wanted
That
something
simple.
better. Okay.
Just I was convinced that I liked the story between the two of them and their relationship building. I liked. It wasn't that Alucard was a favorite story, but I felt it was necessary to show a different side of him, where he was trying to be like his mom, but sometimes humanity will show you the worst side of itself. And how was Alucard going to bounce back after he did what he thought his mom wanted, which she would have wanted, and it turned out
he welcomed
so
yet another
bad.
human or
Yeah,
humans
so how does he bounce
into the
back?
castle.
So it told a sad story about
He
Alucard.
bounced back.
Yeah. So no, I'm talking about the next season.
Okay, so okay.
The season ended with both of their bodies hanging
Which I
outside
loved. I thought that
of
was
the castle.
the way Alucard's built. You didn't expect him to do that.
He liked something about the season.
I did. And then as he's explained to you, real calm, with his picnic basket, walking back up into his castle.
This should suffice.
And then he's like, this will tell people to stay away.
Yeah.
And then it's like literally a spear going through the mouth, and I thought, you know what? They deserved it. I liked, if I had to pick one that I didn't mind watching, it had to be, I agree, Hector and Lenore. I think that was it was neat. You saw a possible bonding growth. Hector was a favorite of mine in the beginning. Hector and Isaac, they were the men. And then, but I did like Alucard because it really showed that sensitive side, like he wanted to be that. And then out of all the storylines, I think that one took, to me, the biggest twist.
And I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that I didn't buy that led them for them thinking that because they didn't move the castle that meant he was like.
Right, I think that was
I
weak.
didn't buy that.
You're right. I
just
100%.
So that led you to kill him? Like, you're having this good time, you're learning all these things, but he's not doing one.
And he's super nice.
He didn't show you every room of the castle, and he hasn't moved the castle yet because he told you it broke, and that led you to want
to kill him.
Kill him?
Yeah, I was very confused.
I don't know. That, to me, was the worst part of the season.
But it was a cool twist.
I didn't think it was cool. I thought it.
Okay, you didn't expect it because they were both pleasant people. Alucard was pleasant. He was willing to teach him magic and do all these things. And
I think that was an example of just because it wasn't expected does not mean that it was good.
I enjoyed it because if you pointed me to Isaac, no, bye.
What about Isaac was such a turn off this season?
Ready? You're a demon now. Well, cool. Hey, listen to me. No, I think that was.
Isaac left season 2 trying to save Dracula, failed because Dracula saved him. He has to now pick himself up. Like, put yourself in the shoes of the character. What does he do next? And I thought one of the best scenes in the whole season was Isaac and the captain of the ship. When he was having a conversation with Isaac about, like, what do you want to do?
I liked him. I did like him a lot.
He didn't buy any of Isaac's threats. He was just trying to have a conversation with him, and it made Isaac, I think, at that moment realize that I'm not living for me. I'm literally, like, doing this thing that I was told by the guy who's already dead that I should be doing, but I'm living my life now. So I actually thought I enjoyed Isaac in season 3 way more than I did in season 2. Also, he was never a bad guy to be a bad guy. He gave everyone
he did give people the honest chance.
He did not show up anywhere and say, yep, kill them all. He tried to be civil. He tried to be nice.
Let me pass. That's all I want.
It just kept showing you that there's a lot of parts of humanity that are rigid and rough, and people aren't friendly. And
take a look around where
all he wants is to be treated respectfully. He got the present. He got that gift from the merchant, the mirror. The pirate had a good interaction with him, and it showed Isaac that, wait a minute, I might have been misplaced in my goal, being Dracula's goal, to execute humanity. I might want to try something different for myself. And I think the relationship to the night creatures, he has a couple conversations. His second best conversation of the entire season was with his creature, his night creature. And he was a philosopher. And it was during a time where it was frowned upon and you were excommunicated or murdered in Athens, is where he was from.
But do you think that his blade and his Forge Master skills is kind of OP?
I said this in season 2. How in the hell did Isaac kill Godbrand? I don't give a fuck if he snuck up on him behind him and had him with the belt around the neck. I don't understand how Godbrand, given his display of athleticism and like badassery,
flight pretty much, and dead.
He hunted soldiers in the woods and slaughtered them like they were like pigs. And Isaac beat him because he's tortured himself for years.
Yeah, just beat him with the. I don't know.
I've always wondered about Isaac's power level and how in the hell he's so strong. But
look at Hector's Forge Master ability.
Hector, like, to me, is a better example of a Forge Master. To me.
Yes, than a magical blade. And I don't know. I'm excited to see where they go. I definitely think if with those all the characters, I do want to see what goes on because I'm invested now. I'm hours in. I'm ready for the end, to wrap everything up. And I truly do hope they wrap everything up in a nice little box for me. If you didn't notice, the animation was better again.
Yep.
And I did like a lot because it was more peaceful to the eyes. I noticed it. Maybe I didn't notice it in the first couple episodes, but I noticed it when Trevor and Sypha made it to that town. And Trevor, they all got wardrobe upgrades. He's looking good in all black. She's looking, except this one piece of hair that's following her face all the time, but they're trying to make it look good. I get it.
I thought facial expressions were done really well.
Yeah, and that's where I noticed it because he was talking to Saint Germain, and you saw like this facial features was different. And then I started paying attention to everything else, and then I was like, oh, they redid animation here, and I think that carried into a lot of the rest of the show. Kind of got me more in it because season 1 was a struggle. So now season 3 wrapping up with bringing in they had more money. I get it. They did well. I was happy with it. I don't remember much music or sound. Was there?
No, it was more mood setting than anything.
Okay.
The fight scenes had pretty good music, I thought.
No, the fight scenes, I well done. Because it went with the animation and it had music and sound. Let's say, not necessarily music, but the sound used.
The sounds, yes,
that
the show
was
does
what
have
was
good
better.
sound.
That was better this time around when you're comparing others. It was neat. It had a lot of action because you had, with Isaac taking over every town he walked through, Trevor and Sypha dealing with the coolest looking rainbow-eyed demon in the basement. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, he went in there to kill the church and the church kept him.
Oh, well, he entranced them.
Well, I misunderstood.
Yeah, he had them crucify him in that position. They put him up there because he requested to be up there like that.
Okay, well then that was something I missed, and I think that added a lot to the story, and I'm okay with that.
They followed him because, I think you went to sleep once or twice. They followed him because when he got in, instead of killing them, he basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Hypnotized. He hypnotized them in a way.
Okay. Yes, I had to miss a spot.
And my God, the twist at the end with the judge of the town where his hobby was to murdering children.
Because no running in his town.
Man, it wasn't because of that. He said, Trevor asked him about how he likes being the head of a town like this, and he said it has its rewards. He was playing games with how many kids he could kill in that man. I'm telling you what.
I was just wondering why everybody wanted to go to the apple tree. Why is he sending everybody to this apple tree?
This is the reason why I think season 3 was a success. It came into the season with Trevor and Sypha giddy about these adventures they've had over the course, they say it a couple times, about a month.
Do you think there's something
They were
wrong with
recording
her?
for about a month. At the end of season 3, they do the same shot basically where it's the two of them and they are on the complete other side of the spectrum. They just went through fucking hell, and the show convinced you that it was it convinced you that it was real, and you felt what they were feeling in the end, and you saw the progression of how they got there through the season. I thought it was more of a horror aspect to the season than seasons 1 and 2. I preferably liked the slower pace. I really think season 3 was not as bad as I think it's. I think there's a lot of people in the community that didn't like the pacing of it.
Okay.
Didn't like the fact that it kind of took it off the throttle a little bit.
It did.
And started to tell
For
a little
8
slower
episodes.
of a story. And there's other people like me that thought I was on board and I was comfortable with the pace. And I liked the stories they were telling. But for the exception of one story at the end with the twist with Alucard and the twins. I don't even know if they're twins.
They looked the same when they took the
I wasn't
buns down.
convinced of the actions they took, even though I know they told a story about where they came from in Japan.
And like the one vampire wronged them.
Well, it wasn't wrong them; they were slaves.
Yeah, okay.
They
But
didn't take their lunch. It was.
But now, like, why are you gonna? Okay, do you count all vampires as that vampire?
That's what
I
they
think
tried to
that's
convince you of. I wasn't convinced of
Yeah.
the fact that Alucard had
lied to them. He didn't.
deserved what they tried to give him in any way, shape, and
Right.
form.
Right.
It was just I didn't buy it.
And
that to
I
me
hope
was the
that
worst
didn't
part of the
break
season.
him. I hope that didn't break Alex.
That's what I said too at the end of the season.
Because like he was such a good like person trying to
Yep.
to bond the world of vampire and
when
human.
season 3 ended, I thought there was a good possibility that Dracula reincarnates through Alucard
I can see that.
because of the
Yeah.
way life is taking
Yep.
him. So when season 3 ended, I was like, is that where they're going
He's
to take
the
Alucard?
next Dracula.
He's the next Dracula. And he gets there and it tells you the story of how he got from this really good guy to
a
Dracula.
dark, cloaked,
Kill
thin
all-
mustache.
kill all
I'm killing
humans.
all humans.
Yeah, and guys, that just wraps up the
Yeah.
season 3. I loved it. Ryan hated it.
Hate is a strong word.
You strongly disliked it.
Yes, because
Okay.
you explained a couple things to me that kind of made sense. I get it, but I think they just pulled out the stories a wee bit too long.
Okay, yeah, I don't blame you for that. That's fine.
it.
Yeah.
And my such of a lower level of, watching and just dipping the toes in the anime, this was not enough to get me pumping. But I'm going to watch season 4.
I'm probably in the minority here of the community who watches Castlevania. I think season 3 was better than season 2. And that brings us to the Layman review. Season 2, we gave it 8 out of 10.
Which,
And I think season 3, I'm probably in the minority here. I think season 3 was better than season 2. And if I were to give it, if it was my channel and I gave it a score, it'd be an 8.5, just to show it was a little bit better than season 2. So what would you give it if it was you were the only
just
one rating it?
me rating this, I'm going to say 7.5.
Taking the average of the two, basically, if he says 7.5 and I say 8.5, we'll give it an 8 out of 10.
And I think that's comfortable because, and very generous. The story at most episodes were very slow.
It was slow, and I think it was deliberately slow.
It
And
was
I was okay with it, and you weren't. I think
Unnecessary
that's the
evil,
crux
and that's
right
where
there.
we're meeting it at 8.
Yeah.
I could definitely see, if you showed me a couple parts and clips in 8 or 9 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's if the season was on par with 9 and 10,
That's a hell of a thing to keep up for 10 episodes.
that thing be kissing about a 9.5.
Okay.
Okay, but
Yeah,
I get
it's
it.
hard to do.
Got to reel it back. 8.5, I think, is a little generous. I'm comfortable with 8. If you're comfortable with
Yeah,
4,
we'll
Layman's review, we got it at 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fine. And we're going to roll into season 4. We're going to go watch it and come back, and we're going to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So if you like what we're doing here, like and subscribe. Comment in the description below another show that you like that you think we should take a look at. And we'll see you guys next time. See ya.